Nintendo's 2018 stood, for the most part, in the light of the glowing sun. But 2019 appears to be a much more varied year, with the big move of Fire Emblem, Animal Crossing, Luigi's Mansion, and obviously Pokemon from the 3DS to the Nintendo Switch as the main attraction. And to get over an already fully crowded year with Smash DLC packs, Yoshi games, and a truckload of games, Conrad and I once again sat down with Rogersbase for well over an hour to get deep inside how great 2019 will be for the Nintendo Switch. Actually, let's talk about Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, but the game is still going to exist beyond 2018 and into 2019, with some DLC, with Piranha Plant, Persona 5's Joker. What's going on? This is nuts.
Yeah, Piranha Plant, I'm still kind of surprised that they're waiting until February to do Piranha Plant and that they already announced the first DLC character. Part of me expected that first DLC announcement to be in January, since we always get a big January direct. And then, of course, it being Joker and Reggie basically being like, all the characters are going to be surprising, to me, it makes me question what those other DLC picks are going to be. There's that rumor going around right now that the second one is going to be a Dragon Quest character. But beyond that, I mean, really, I feel like I've gotten every character that I want beyond Rex and Pyra, so I'm just here for the ride now. Give me the Meltdowns, give me Sans, give me Tracer, give me Banjo, whatever.
Yeah, and that is an important discussion to take up at the beginning of 2019 is, will Nintendo break the tradition they have with only Japanese characters in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate? Is the time now for it with the DLC packs for Super Smash Bros. Ultimate? Because up to this point, we have had, kind of Western characters, but only by Japanese game developers. When you go with Banjo, you take another step into the realm of Western developers.
I feel like I want that, yes, because it's like, I really don't feel like, because I always get told, like, this character that you're wishing for is not a Japanese character, so he can't be in Smash, right? And I'm like, there was a time when only Nintendo characters were in Smash, guys.
Right.
Like, we can't just keep writing off something because it's not happening right now. Like, Cloud changed a lot when he was announced, and Persona 5 Joker, and it's just gonna keep changing, and in the meantime, let's just have fun with predictions. Like, don't be that guy saying that's not possible, except Goku, don't be that guy.
Right. I do think, though, because of Nintendo's relationship with Blizzard, there is a pretty good shot of some type of Blizzard character in it. That's the one beyond the, Monster Hunter and Dragon Quest that everybody's talking about that I think has a pretty good chance that I don't think would have had a good chance prior to that Joker announcement. And that all depends on whether or not we get like an Overwatch port on Switch next E3. But, this year we got Fortnite, and I kind of feel like next year if they're going to be releasing some big shadow multiplayer game during E3, I do think Overwatch would be a good choice for that. And considering the producer mentioning that they're open to putting Overwatch on the Switch, Nintendo was at BlizzCon this past year with Diablo, I could definitely see them throwing in something like Tracer and then, once again, sort of resetting the standards of what a Smash character could be. So, I'm excited.
So, when do you think we'll see these DLC character reveals? Because we have 4 left now after Persona 5 Joker was revealed at the Game Awards. And I would say that I wouldn't be surprised if we got another reveal now in either January or March, though I feel March maybe is a little bit more likely, mostly because we just had a DLC announcement. We had, or maybe they will do it each month. Like in November we got Piranha Plant, in December we got Persona 5 Joker, and maybe in January we get another character. It's just that we'll have to wait for them a little bit longer.
Yeah, I think January seems almost like a lock to me. And I think if that rumor is true about the Dragon Quest character being the second one, I could see that being something they'd want to throw in the January Direct, because I think that'd be really exciting for Japanese video game fans. But I think for people in North America or maybe in Europe, Dragon Quest won't be as exciting an announcement. And I think to pair that announcement with a January Direct and then show off the first gameplay of Joker, that would be exciting. And I think a lot of people would be down for that. And then I think, honestly, we're probably not going to get one until maybe May or June after that. And then I think the announcements might happen at that new Fire Emblem Expo that's happening in May, or we'll get an announcement at E3. That seems kind of like a lock. And then maybe another one in that fall direct. So the second character would be, like I said, January. Third one would maybe be Fire Emblem Expo, E3. Fourth one would be in the fall, and then the last one would be in the January direct of next year.
Yeah, I feel like spreading them out's the reasonable way to go.
Yeah.
Not just every month and then nothing.
Though I would be excited to have them every month.
It would be exciting, but we'll be done with them before E3, so that's the main problem. Like, I think the best way to follow this is pretty much the directs, and directs usually happen every 3-4 months, depending on... I'm talking about the main directs, obviously, plus E3, and then we would have all of them out throughout the year, with the final one being revealed sometime in November, December, coming out in February 2020.
The question is, do you guys believe that there's only going to be one fighter pack? Because to me, if they end up making a lot of money on these fighter passes, I could see them doing a second Challengers pack and announcing that before the end of next year.
I would love that so much. I don't know if it's going to happen, but I'm not going to say no to it, because, the more fighters, the better in Smash.
Exactly.
Always. Mm-hmm.
I actually feel that might be a great way to have, say you have only Japanese characters in the first DLC pack, and then, the expansion pass, and then have Western characters in the second one. That would be a good way to break another convention for Smash.
I would love that, but I think, nothing but Western characters, the next one's a little too good to be true, but I would still love it. So
I am kind of excited to see what's going to happen with these DLC packs, though, beyond the music and the stages and the character, because some of these new franchises are probably going to get an assist trophy thrown in there and some spirits as well. And I'm wondering, because we already had those spirit events with the spectacled spirits a couple days ago, if they're going to continue doing that into next year, and with the Joker DLC, if they're going to throw in free spirit DLC of Persona characters, or Dragon Quest, they'll throw in free spirits of Dragon Quest monsters or things like that.
That'd be awesome. I think that would almost a given. I feel like.
Yeah. Mii Fighter costumes are probably on the way too.
Oh, definitely. Can't wait for
money.
that Geno outfit.
Yeah, right.
I can just imagine the Persona 5 Joker Classic mode. Oh,
it's gonna be so much fun.
Yeah, I know.
It is. But we would talk about predictions for characters, but we're going to have 2 completely separate videos about that, so stay tuned for those. It's going to be exciting. Now then, guys, let's move on. January, pretty good month for the Nintendo Switch, I think. Starting with New Super Mario Bros. U Deluxe.
Well, it will definitely sell a lot of games and copies, that's for sure, because those games always sell so much. It's a perfect game to start the year off. It's a definitive... well, maybe not a system seller, but a definitely game seller. And people are heavily underestimating how many copies of this game could be sold.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think this is something that I'm not particularly interested in, but there are a lot of people who, again, didn't know the Wii U was a thing. And I think they're going to see this and go, oh, it's a new HD 2D Mario game. This is great. And they're going to want to pick it up. Especially because it's coming out right after Christmas, so they're going to get their sweet, sweet gift card buys. Because everybody's going to have their gift cards where they're going to be, let's just get another Switch game. Oh, look at this, a brand new Mario game? Well, I'll get this instead.
Yeah, exactly. A lot of us, quote-unquote, hardcore Nintendo fans, I feel like sometimes write off those games because it's even though, they are 2D Mario games, and that's why I love them in general, but also, the art style's not that great. Sometimes I feel like these games were made in a factory, more because then when you look at Rayman Origins and Rayman Legends, those games, similar concept, much more inspired art style than the new Super Mario Bros. Games. But this is also, even though it is a port of a Wii U game, the first new Super Mario Bros. Game we've had in 6 years? So, and I've always wanted to play a 2D Mario game on the Switch in portable mode, so I'm definitely gonna get this. Come on.
I'm just gonna wait for Mario Maker at this point. It's with me, once Mario Maker came out, it honestly ruined future 2D Mario games for me. I think I really loved Mario Maker as somebody who's not a huge Mario fan to begin with. And so I'm ready for that. I know we're going to be talking about E3 predictions a little bit later on, but that's something I really do want to see announced for the Switch this year.
Mm-hmm. But the big highlight is, of course, Toadette. The question now is if we will be getting...
Don't say it.
Don't do it, Conrad. It's fine.
New Super Mario Bros. U Deluxe. I think a lot of YouTubers will also jump on that one because we all know that those games do really well in analytics, and especially YouTube Kids. And we couldn't have a bigger contrast coming right after with Travis Strikes Again, which is
heroes.
And unfortunately, Suda51 did come out and say that No More Heroes 3 is going to be dependent on how much Travis Strikes Again sells. So
buy the game.
Buy the game. Pretty much. I mean, we kind of saw that coming, really. It's something to play on the Switch in January, which is like a slow month for games in general. So it's going to be exciting. All that stuff. I'm loving what we're seeing of Yoshi's Crafted World. Yoshi's Woolly World was underrated gem on Wii U. I feel like not a lot of people really talk about that game. Not underrated, but underappreciated. And I'm very excited to see that they're what's the term I'm looking for? They're expanding on what Woolly World presented in new and different ways, I would say.
Definitely look more impressive in the most recent Nintendo Direct than I mean the September one. You saw they had updated the graphics, we got to see more of the gameplay, and we see it's a much deeper experience than what the first trailer at E3 2017 gave us an impression of, and also the demos there. I think the Treehouse session that followed that Direct in September was a really good way to show that this is a very well crafted Yoshi game, and that it would be a perfect game in the slot of where we had Kirby Star Allies this year, and it might even be better than Kirby Star Allies.
I hope it's better than Kirby Star Allies. Let's be real. But Roger, what are your thoughts on this?
Not even in the slightest. No, I don't care. I actually liked Kirby Star Allies too, but I liked it after they started adding the free DLC. I wasn't really like super into it right away, but once they started adding the other characters and referencing other Kirby games, then I was totally about it. I don't know. It's not Yoshi's Island. They're never going to make a Yoshi's Island 2, like a real Yoshi's Island 2. I know some people might say the DS game kind of was, but it's not what I want. When we get an eventual Yoshi's Island sequel, which I'm sure will happen one day, like a real Yoshi's Island sequel, then I'll be excited. But until then, I mean, there's so many side-scrolling platformers on Nintendo systems that it's very hard for me to get excited about another one, especially if it's just a Yoshi game that's, the co-op looks interesting. Some of the things they've shown off about it, they look cute. But for me, it's probably going to be a game I stream once and then never touch again.
Well, is it because Yoshi committed
No,
tax fraud?
no, actually, I like that about him. He's a risk-reward type of guy. So,
what would have been hilarious with this is if they launched the game around the same time you file taxes.
Oh my God, that'd be so funny! It comes out on tax day. Yeah. That would be great.
Oh
that'd be great.
So I definitely think this is a March-April game.
Yeah,
pretty much
they could do it. You know what, Nintendo, do it. Release it on tax day.
But for this next game, I'll let you take this one, Roger.
Yes, please, Fire Emblem 3 Houses. I am so excited for this. It's been so long since a real console Fire Emblem game. I loved the games on GameCube and on Wii, Ike's games, Path of Radiance and Radiant Dawn. I'm also huge fans of Fates and of Awakening. I know a lot of people feel mixed about Fates, but I still absolutely love the game, and I think everything we've seen of Three Houses says to me that this is going to be not only a return to form for the franchise, but also is going to keep some of the elements that I really liked about those 3DS games. It looks like there's going to be some type of My Castle in this. I like the idea that your entire army is with you when you're attacking now. And I am just really excited to see the new characters. I want to see these new characters in Fire Emblem Heroes on mobile. I want to see one of them in Smash Brothers. Throw Edelgard in there. She's an axe user. And Fire Emblem Expo is happening in May as well, which is really exciting. It's the first time that we're actually going to get a convention dedicated to Fire Emblem. And so I think we're going to get some pretty cool announcements there for this. Mm-hmm. And I think we'll probably get a release date for this sometime in that January Direct, and then get an official release sometime in May or June.
Mm-hmm. I see June and May as a possibility, especially like after. It's got to be sometime after the Fire Emblem Expo.
Yeah, I think it's going to be right after the Fire Emblem Expo or right before, but definitely pre-E3. It's going to happen before E3.
May is probably a very good bet in this regard. We have had May launches before with Splatoon in 2015, and I wouldn't be surprised if they do the same thing with Fire Emblem Three Houses. And Fire Emblem is making its big return to consoles again after being on the 3DS. Last time we had a Fire Emblem game was on the console, was on the Wii, and this is a completely different and brand new Fire Emblem game. It's pretty much the Fire Emblem I've always wanted. It's in many ways it depicts a true nature of war. It's not just heroes battling heroes, it's actually full armies with you. And they also have I don't know how much of an impact they will have. It's probably just for visual purposes, but it still looks, those battle scenes will look incredible.
And I'm just excited to see not just the character designs and the different battle scenes, but I really just feel like it's time for a good hardcore strategy game on Switch, because I loved Mario & Rabbids. That's something that I missed last year, and I just recently started playing it for the first time. And that game is phenomenal. And being able to play like this really strategic game on the go. And again, that's not to say that there haven't been good strategy games on Switch. There are other good ones. Into the Breach is great. Valkyria Chronicles just recently released on there as well. But I think to have a true Fire Emblem game that I can take on the go, but also play in HD on my TV with that beautiful, it's going to have a beautiful orchestrated soundtrack. This is easily one of my most anticipated games the next year. And it's exciting to know that we'll probably be playing this before E3. It's just, I can't wait. Smash is going to tide me over until then, no problem.
Speaking of Smash, we got to have a Fire Emblem character in one of those DLC packs.
Throw Edelgard in there. I think having someone that isn't a sword fighter is what they need. I think we're probably going to get a sword fighter with whatever that Dragon Quest character is, most likely Erdrick from Dragon Quest III. And if we do end up getting that, which, again, wouldn't be that big of a deal. We haven't had an original sword fighter in Smash Ultimate yet. You could say Chrom, but he's not original. He's an Echo fighter. And we know this character would be an original sword fighter. So, if they want to do that with Dragon Quest, but do something different for Fire Emblem, I'd be totally okay with that. I know it's sort of a running joke that why are there so many Fire Emblem characters in Smash, but hey, if they're all great, they're high on the tier list and they all play great, why not throw another one in there?
And I think Fire Emblem Three Houses can also offer an amazing soundtrack and obviously a great stage. The main thing I think many overlook with this game is how it is the most global Fire Emblem game we have seen so far, with Russian characters, Japanese characters, European characters, and even like American, African blend here. And I really like that the Fire Emblem is no longer just a Japanese franchise, but they're trying to create a more global approach also to the characters and the main protagonists in the game. And I really like that approach. I just hope it will not be a little bit too clunky when it comes with the Three Houses, because some people were not too happy about the division of the games in Fire Emblem Fates.
And the thing is, though, we're not getting multiple versions of the game. It's just one game. I can understand if people felt that way if we were getting sort of like what we had with Fates with Revelation and Birthright and Conquest, where you had to get all three to know the true story. But I really don't think, we know it's just going to be one game. It's called Three Houses. And I think if the game is separated in terms of its storylines, if they all come together by the ending, that'll be fine. Now, mind you, if they want to make money, they could do the Fire Emblem Three Houses true ending where no character dies and everybody lives happily ever after, and do that as DLC and announce it at the Fire Emblem Expo, and I'd be upset about that. But I really don't think that's the case. This is a big mainline strategy game for Intelligent Systems. They've been working on this for a long time, and now that Fire Emblem is so popular, I really feel like there's no way they're going to screw this one up. And it does, to me at least, feel like a good mix between the new Fire Emblems and the old ones, because we have mostly it's more of a focus on strategic elements than waifu elements this time around, which I think is actually a good thing, despite really liking all the characters in Fate.
Is it though?
Well, I mean, don't tell that to the audience that listen to me on the Game Explain discussion, because oh boy, did I get flack for that.
Oh man.
But no, I think it's a good mix.
But there will be a waifu.
Oh, I'm sure there will. I mean, Edelgard already is in it, so we've already got some great new, female protagonist that I'm sure is going to be a fan favorite. But yeah, I really do feel like this is going to be a very high quality game, and people are sort of sleeping on it compared to a lot of the stuff that's coming out next year, which I'm sure we'll get into in just a little bit when we talk about E3. So.
But hey, you know what else is coming out in 2019? The core Pokemon Switch RPG, which is not going to be like Let's Go, hopefully. Let's Go was a great game, but this is like a full-on...
I actually really liked Let's Go a lot.
So do I. And I'm not even a big Pokemon fan at all, and I freaking loved Let's Go. Jesus.
And it's so much fun with the Pokeball Plus. So much fun.
Exactly. But I do want the next Pokemon game, which is going to be a new generation, all that stuff. A new generation in the sense of the Pokemon gens and like generation of gaming altogether. Because this is going to be the first, well, other than Let's Go, which was pretty much a remake of Pokemon Yellow, this is going to be a fully blown new high-definition Pokemon game on a home console that's also portable. So that's fun. What do we expect from this game?
I want following Pokemon to return, and I want the thing where you can access your box from anywhere to return. Beyond that, I do also want abilities and items to return, and I think they will, considering this is a core generation of Pokemon.
I just hope that they really change that art style up. I think what I didn't like the most about Let's Go was the art style, which was like, it looked good in some parts, but it also like the animations, sometimes it's just like the screen would fade to black instead of showing Eevee jump up onto another platform. I hated that so much. I was just like, just put a little more effort into that art style, guys. The gameplay could be like
I think that they're going to do a complete revamp when it comes to the Pokemon Core Switch RPG.
Oh, really?
Because this is a mainline game.
I totally disagree. I think they're making all of these assets and they put together that engine specifically so they could use it for the next core generation. I think what's going to happen, and we might not see the effects of this next year, but I do think we are going to get a split with the Let's Go games and the main core RPGs. And I think they'll be made on the same engine, similar to what happened with the previous remakes. I just think the game mechanics are going to be drastically different. Like, I think whenever we end up getting that Gen 4 remake, or maybe we'll even get like a Let's Go Johto or something like that, it'll be in the same engine that they make this generation and potentially even the next generation as well. Because you got to remember, this is their first big HD game, beyond Town, which we'll talk about a little bit later. But they're not used to making games in HD, specifically Pokemon games. And so I think they're going to make the most of the engine they already put together.
So you believe that they will stick to the top-down formula for Pokemon Switch RPG? Okay, because there are opposing opinions when it comes to this. Because some people wanted to go in the direction of Yokai Watch 4, where you have more of a third-person perspective of the gameplay.
And I mean, I'd be totally cool with that. I just don't expect it. This is the Pokemon company we're talking about, so...
Yeah, they tend to play it safe because they know their games are going to sell well anyway.
Exactly.
But I'd love to be proven wrong
about
that.
Me too.
But we'll see about that. All right.
Definitely need another season of Inside Pokemon Switch, that's for sure.
Yes.
I think we'll once again get a Pokemon reveal by Game Freak before E3. That's my prediction. It's become pretty much a tradition at this point, and Game Freak likes to just do things their way.
They do. They got lots of money. They can do it.
Yeah.
So when do you think we'll see the reveal of Pokemon's Switch Core RPG?
May.
Yeah, I think late May or about a week before E3.
And that's a perfect transition to E3 2019.
Hey, look at that.
We're also going to get a lot of indie games. But E3 2019, I think we'll once again get a Pokemon reveal by Game Freak before E3. That's my prediction. It's become pretty much a tradition at this point, and Game Freak likes to just do things their way. I want to go into a little bit of third-party games before we go into E3, because there is a record-breaking number of third-party games coming to the Nintendo Switch in 2019. Obviously, we have Yokai Watch 4 coming out, and I think that's the game that many want Pokemon to take a lesson from, though, as you said, Game Freak may not be ready for that move yet. But the game is coming out before E3, and the same goes with Trials Rising, Team Sonic Racing, Mortal Kombat 11, probably Doom Eternal, and that's pretty much it of the ones that are confirmed for at least the spring. But we also have confirmed for the year Crash Team Racing Nitro Fueled, which is really cool because we're getting one of those Activision remakes without having to wait half a year.
When did that happen? Did they announce that at the Game Awards? I thought it was just a Sony thing.
It was announced. They announced it.
It was
Sony,
at the Game Awards.
Well, here's the thing: they only showed PlayStation 4 at the end of the trailer, but they said later on that it would be on Xbox and Switch. And
stuff. Wow!
So,
okay, well that's great then. Cool, because I'm not a huge Crash fan, but I love CTR, so that'll be neat. Yeah, for me, it's
Crash Team Racing.
We've got like Daemon X Machina coming out. I'm really excited about that. I love my mech games. Seeing Final Fantasy Crystal Chronicles and 12 on the go is just so exciting to me. Those are two of my favorite RPGs of all time. And so the fact we're getting both of those in the first half of the year, there's too many games to play on Switch right now, man. There's too much. With Fire Emblem and all the Smash DLC and the Final Fantasy games, Switch is going to have a really good 2019. Just looking at the first half of 2019, it's like, how are they going to top it?
I don't.
But we should be very happy about this because the Switch has really turned into a multi-platform console at this point. It's no longer just a console for Nintendo games, and that's also probably one of the biggest aims that Nintendo had with this.
Especially if we end up getting that rumored Persona 5 Complete on Switch as well, which I feel like that's probably a given at this point now that we have Joker in Smash Brothers.
Oh yeah, Reggie hinted at
that's going
as
to be
well.
amazing because to me, I love Persona 5, but I still never beat the game. I got pretty far into it, like about 80 hours in, and I never actually had the chance to beat it. And I think a big part of that was I had to sit down in front of the TV to beat it. And I know that being able to take that game on the go is going to make that entire experience a lot better for me. And just being able to play Persona on a Nintendo system is kind of cool. So
exactly.
And they're going to have amazing crimson red Joy-Cons or something. So.
Something good. That's pretty much the reason why I haven't played Persona 5 yet, is because it's like, I don't want to sit down in front of my TV playing this game that's clearly meant to be on Switch, and I don't have a Vita, so there's that.
Well, there's no doubt that Persona 5 is an time investment, and I think also the nature of that game works the best on both console and in a handheld form, because you have that casual part of the game and then the action part. And I think that's especially the more casual daily life sections would work really well in a type of Animal Crossing style. Of course, we're going to get to Animal Crossing as well, but I mean, a casual style where you just play it on the go, and I think that's a great appeal of the Nintendo Switch and of getting Persona 5 on the system.
Of course. I'm very excited. Yeah, third parties are gonna freaking dominate 2019, especially, man, Doom's one of my favorite shooters of all time, so it's like Doom Eternal on the Switch, getting it both on PC and the Switch is going to be fantastic. And Mortal Kombat 11 coming back on a Nintendo platform, guys. That's a big deal right there. Let's hope it's better than Mortal Kombat 10, though.
I wasn't super shocked about that, though. A lot of people seemed really shocked that game was coming to Switch, and I'm like, really? Because NetherRealm's been doing a pretty good job of bringing their stuff to the Nintendo systems. So, to me, I'm excited. Mortal Kombat's never been my thing, and I'm excited for Mortal Kombat fans who get to play it on Nintendo systems, but to me, there were a lot of people who seemed really shocked that was happening, and I'm like, really? You're shocked that it's coming to this hugely successful system?
But it skipped so many Nintendo platforms.
Yeah.
Like, I think that's pretty much all.
But the Switch is different. Remember, the Switch is different, it changes everything, and we also see that with the number of racing games we're getting. It's not only Team Sonic Racing, Crash Team Racing, Nitro Fuel, we're also getting Grid Autosport, which is a driving simulator that is actually good.
What? No way.
For a change.
A good...
And then we also have, obviously, the Switch exclusive Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3. We have no idea when that's
We don't, but that's a big deal too.
Probably with the next Avengers movie, yeah. So maybe before E3?
Let's hope. I hope. It might. We'll see. We'll see about that. I just hope that, because the trailer looked a little rough, I want them to polish that game, because it's like, I didn't even think Marvel Ultimate Alliance was ever going to be a thing ever again, so it's great to see it come back, and a Nintendo exclusive. Who saw that coming?
Nobody, yeah.
No one saw as well Saints Row 3 coming to the Nintendo Switch.
But who cares?
The same goes with Final Fantasy. We are getting another Resident Evil collection, but, well, they ported to pretty much every system at this point. And then we also have Ace Attorney Phoenix Wright Trilogy HD, which I think a lot of people are excited for, and a great build-up to the next Phoenix Wright game that will be on the Switch.
And in fact, they've already confirmed that is coming to the Switch next year. But I do really want like a full Professor Layton collection where you've got the original trilogy from DS remade in HD. I am a huge fan of those games, and if they ported them over and maybe threw Layton in as a Smash character, that'd be kind of neat.
That would be neat. I'm surprised he's not even a Smash character yet. So.
Right?
Pretty crazy.
People are talking about Phoenix Wright as a Smash character because he is in Marvel vs. Capcom, but...
Honestly, sky's the limit with the Smash DLC characters now. It's like, it's almost not even fun to speculate anymore, because I feel like with Piranha Plant and Joker, that was Sakurai making a statement like, I'm gonna do whatever I want. You guys have no idea what's in store for you.
Precisely. That's the way I feel.
Yeah, first it was everyone is here, and now it's everyone is possible.
Everyone is possible, definitely. That should be the tagline.
Master Chief. Let it happen, cowards.
Oh, man, it'd be great.
It would be great. But yeah, so what about these possible games coming out next year, the third-party ones at least, like Dragon Quest XI, then Dragon Quest Builders 2, which is the only reason why I haven't bought Dragon Quest Builders on the Switch yet, because I'm waiting for that. And then Shin Megami Tensei 5, when's that coming out?
So Dragon Quest XI is a given. I don't even think that's like a possible thing. That's something we know we're going to get. It's possible that we get it on Switch in North America and European territories. But I think in Japan, no doubt by the end of next year, that game will be out. And I think a big reason that game will be out next year is because I think, sort of like the stuff with Persona 5 and Joker as DLC, I think having a Dragon Quest character as one of the DLC characters to promote an upcoming third-party release on the system is something that Nintendo would be very mindful of. We know this time around Nintendo was the ones who chose the Smash characters, and so I do think that they had in mind already that maybe Persona was going to come to the Switch. They want to promote that third-party release by bringing that character in. I think it's something very similar with that Dragon Quest representative as well.
So perhaps we're getting Persona 5 this year and Shin Megami Tensei 5 next year. No, I mean 2020.
I don't think that game is going to make it to English-speaking territories in 2019, but I think it could come out in Japan by the end of the year.
Very good. We shall see. We shall see.
Well, and in return, we will get Overwatch.
Well, Overwatch, I feel like if we're going to get a 720p locked Overwatch next year, because, again, Blizzard has been saying that they've been thinking about it now, and they know people want it, and they saw how Diablo did on Switch, and Nintendo and Blizzard's relationship is really good right now. I could see that happening, but if that happens, that seems to me like the Rocket League, Fortnite level kind of announcement they would save for E3 and then shadow drop during the show.
E3 2019 will be great for Nintendo regardless if they have new game announcements or not.
But you know what? I think they might have one big new announcement, and that is the next Mario Kart or Nintendo Kart.
Well, I don't know. See, the only reason I say I don't know... Yeah, I do think it is time, but the only reason I don't know is because Mario Kart Tour is probably going to come out in around March, and I think their focus for Mario Kart in 2019 will be the mobile game.
But maybe we're talking about the reveal.
Oh yeah, and the reveal could happen.
And then
I could see a reveal happening at E3, and then a release maybe spring of 2020. But it's also so weird because Mario Kart 8 continues to sell on Switch. To me, it seems like, why even make a new one? Just keep making DLC. Like, that's kind of how I feel with Smash Brothers now, too, is we have all the characters, all the stages. It's like, just build upon that as a platform. There's no need to make another one.
There is a bigger potential with Mario Kart, and that is to turn it pretty much into a Smash-like franchise.
But if they do that, I don't think they'll call it Mario Kart 9. Don't you think? I think they would call it, like, Nintendo All-Stars Racing or something, you know. I don't think if they're going to go full-on making it a Smash Brothers racer, that it will be a numbered Mario Kart. I think they would want to sort of separate it where, you want that core... Yeah, exactly. Where it's like you have that core Mario Kart experience with Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, and then you've got this new kart racing experience with Mario and the rest of their properties coming to Switch, similar to what happened with Mario Kart 64 and Diddy Kong Racing.
And I actually think that if we don't get a Zelda reveal, that new Nintendo Kart franchise would be the big reveal at E3. Imagine seeing a stage based on Metroid or Fire Emblem. Imagine the possibilities.
Oh yeah, it'd be great. You know, people would lose their minds if they start up the trailer and it looks like a new F-Zero and it ends up being a kart racer.
Oh my god. It's like so many anger and so much happiness at the same time.
Throw in the Stunt Race MX car or whatever.
Yeah,
that'd be great.
And have Fox McCloud versus
there you go.
Captain Falcon. Yeah. That would be so good. That would be a
little R-Wing racers. That'd be great.
Oh, yeah. Hey, that reminds me. There's supposed to be a Star Fox Racing game coming out. What the hell's going on with that?
Oh my god.
I have a running theory about that. That. I think wires were crossed, and I think that was Starlink. Because we didn't hear anything else about that after Starlink. And I think the stuff with Starlink and Ubisoft somehow crossed paths with the other news about what Retro was working on. And I think that sort of just like spread throughout the community as, there's like this Star Fox racing game, when in reality it was like they saw Starlink or whatever and they heard details about the game and they thought, maybe it's like a racing game. Obviously Starlink does not play like a racing game, but I think that is what happened. I think it's something where they heard a Star Fox thing was in development that's not Star Fox, and somehow a game of telephone went throughout the throughout
I
the
know
industry.
exactly what you're talking about. Yeah, it's just like you whisper one thing and then to like 5 different people, and then something completely different comes out. Yeah, I'd like to think that's what happened. But man, I can't. What's Retro Studios working on? That's the question. That is the question.
I really
Hopefully.
don't think, though, because remember there was that rumor right after Grand Prix that there was a game that got canceled at Retro Studios. So what I'm thinking is if there was truth to the Grand Prix rumor, I think that game is dead. And I think whatever they're actually making may end up seeing the light of day next year. I think there was a team working on Grand Prix and a team working on Donkey Kong, if that was to be believed. And then, Donkey Kong Tropical Freeze's stuff with Funky Kong came out. That team started working on something else, and then we had the Grand Prix game canceled, and then the rest of those people moved on to whatever, like Donkey Kong Country 3 or whatever.
I'm going to
Like
throw this
wrapping
out
up
here,
that
and that
trilogy.
is, what if Retro Studios is making the next Nintendo card?
That would be awesome. And that would go in line with those rumors, too, because then people would be like, oh, okay, it was Star Fox in a racing game, and in reality, it was a racing game that included a